Harley Benton, we need to talk. But first, for you the viewer, let's talk about fretboard radius. Do you care about fretboard radius? Do you even care? Do you like Harley Benton guitars? I like Harley Benton. He's a cool guy. We met once at Lidl. He was buying some oats. Anyway, I like Harley Benton guitars a lot. Kind of. And I am sensitive to fretboard radius, especially when it comes to F-type guitars. On Harley Benton's F-type guitars, they only have one option. Edit. They've just released a different option. But I'm going to carry on anyway because I already scripted the video. Here we go. I asked one of Harley Benton's top guys about this once on a Thomann Livestream.
My name is actually Benedict, so that's the short version. Bene.
And he's a big deal. He's like the...
I'm junior brand manager. I'm taking care of a lot of things, social media, then of course YouTube. If you've seen seen the Harley Benton content, that's pretty much me. Then of course taking care of collaborations and other cool things. Yeah.
Collaborations, you say? Mate, call me. Give us a phone. Give us a bell. Anyway, if you stick around, I'll show you what he said. And I also asked these guys.
Steve Cassidy Guitar says, "Evening, gents from Scotland. Hope you're all well. Do you have a fretboard radius preference?"
And I'll show you what they said later on too.
Okay, the next comment I saw was Steve Cassidy Guitar says, "Do you have a favorite fretboard radius?"
A bit later on in the vid, I'm also going to be talking about the highly anticipated Harley Benton ST Modern Plus. So stick about for that. Or just use the chapters, if you like. So here's a question. Are you even aware of your fretboard radius preference? Have you ever picked up a guitar, played it and thought, ooh, I like this? Or, nah, I don't like it. But you maybe didn't consider if the fretboard radius even played a part. Well, I certainly had not. Until the old COVID lockdown period where, out of boredom, I'd bought a few guitars and I started to experiment with some of them and my other guitars. And then I found out that I actually have quite a strong preference for the 9.5 inch fretboard radius. I wasn't even looking to find that out at the time, it just happened. And I know that other people have a preference for a flatter fretboard radii, like 12 inch is quite popular, and some people just couldn't care less. So which one are you? Do you know? Let me know in the comments. Should I explain fretboard radius? Okay, I'll try, quickly. So fretboard radius is the curvature of the fretboard. Most fretboards have a little bit of a curve to them. The most common extreme curve that you're likely to see is the traditional Fender 7.25 inch curve. And then you've got like the 8.5 inch curve, which is quite rare. I think we can only see that on the PRS Silver Sky SE, but the proper Silver Sky CE has the 7.25 inch radius. Fender Players, Strats, Tellies, American Professional Series all favour the 9.5 inch radius, as does most Squires. Gibson and Epiphone style guitars are usually a bit flatter, usually about 12 inch. And then after that, the flatter you go, you're starting to get into the more shreddy territory, like 14 inch, 16 inch, 18 inch. You're looking at kind of Jackson, Ibanez, Charvel, that kind of thing. And then you can also get compound radius, where it starts off on the lower frets as something like 12 inch, and then flattens out as you taper up the top to something like 16 inch, like this Charvel here. Or on the E-Art Corsair, where it starts off on the lower frets as 7.25 inch radius, and then tapers up to 9.5 inch. And there's loads of other variations of this too. It should also be mentioned that fretboard radius can be a very personal choice. It certainly is for me. For those of you who are sensitive to the differences, a lot of it comes down to your hand anatomy. The size of your hand, the length of your fingers, and a load of other factors. Now, am I the only guy in the world that prefers the 9.5 inch radius? Well, maybe not. Please allow me to state the case for the 9.5 inch radius. Okay, so according to Reverb's best-selling guitars of 2023, this is on the Reverb platform only, and I know there's problems with using this, but let's just go with it for a minute. We've got two lists, Here's the first one. The top selling guitars overall. This includes used guitars. As you can see, we've got some Fender here, some PRS, Gibson, the usual suspects. Now, let's take a look at the fretboard radii on all of these. Interesting. So, the top 4 are 9.5 inches and under, and 6 out of the top 10 are in this same category. Well, number 10 is 10 inches, but that's pretty close to 9.5, is it? Then we've got the top selling new guitars. Same again here, the list is dominated by the same brands with the inclusion of a wee cheeky Squire in there. Let's check the radii of these. So this time, it's the top 7 out of 10 are 10 inch and under, 5 of them are 9.5 inch, and 8 out of the top 10 are under 10 inches. For a more fair balance, I should point out that instead of using reverb, if we were to use Thomann's own sales figures, I believe that the Harley Bentons are their number 1 selling guitars. I think. I could be wrong. But if I'm not, that's going to show a heavily weighted favour for the 12-inch radius, because that's all you can get from Harley Benton at the moment. But what about the other big retailers that don't carry Harley Benton? Sweetwater, Sam Ash, Guitar Centre, Guitar, Anderton's, Bach's Music, Kenny's Music, etc. I wonder what their top sellers are. So if this hasn't convinced you that 9.5 inch radius is a popular one, then this just might. I did the most scientifically robust experiment ever, and I asked you in a community post a few weeks ago. Here was the options, and I'll show you the results at the end of this video. Have you subscribed to the channel? Please consider doing so if you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. These videos take me quite a long time to make, this one specifically, so if you've enjoyed it, hit the wee subscribe and there'll be some more of this kind of stuff. Thank you. So here is what the Thomann said.
I think it was Steve.
Yeah, Steve Cassidy. Yeah.
Will we ever see a Harley Benton with 9.5 inch radius? The 12 is the only thing that puts me off of the S and T types. Love the fire mist, by the way. That is a really cool question.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, it really is.
Thanks, Bana.
But I guess for the most players, they just have gotten used to the 12-inch radius so much that the significant request for like a more rounded fretboard is not so hugely popular. But that's maybe one of the good examples of the things that sometimes it's not always possible to do what you would like to do in order to offer everything that you would literally want to. That's not a no, though.
Nice. I'm listening. Please do carry on.
Because I think it also would make a whole lot of sense to offer a T or ST style guitar with maybe a little rounded off fretboard that's 9.5, or I mean, like if you would go totally traditional, you would actually have to go 7.25, but I guess that would just be overkill. But
7.25 inches? How dare you? Yes, that would be overkill.
Maybe 9.5 in the near future. I mean, like at the moment, there's nothing really planned for it, but we'll see.
Well, get planning.
Yeah, I think I personally, if I can give you an input, I would also love a few traditional models, maybe one or two just having like a 9.5.
See, this is why Chris and I were best pals. So regarding a
few traditional models,
I worry that what they might do here is follow the Squire Classic Vibe recipe. 21 frets, 6 screw trem, the big blocky chunky neck heel, split shaft tuners, although I actually like those, etc. You get the idea.
Maybe, if it's possible, compound, like 9.5 to 12.
I'd settle for a 9.5 to 12 inch compound radius.
That is something that a lot of people want on all of their guitars. But 9.5 for one or two traditional types, I think that would be a nice experiment. I think that would be my choice.
Chris, me too.
Depending on the model, of course. Like on a CST, I would definitely not want a 9.5.
Yeah.
For sure not.
But on a T or an ST style guitar, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, or like an offset or something like that. Yeah, totally.
Sure.
Okay, so you can probably tell I'm having a bit of fun here. But the cool thing about Harley Benton is they're a very accessible company. They seem to be open to ideas and are actively listening to customers, which I think is pretty cool. Try asking one of the big companies to change a specific feature about something and see how far you get, if you even get a response. I doubt Chris or Baina will ever see this video, but if you do, sorry guys, no offence intended, massive respect to you both. Send me Harley Bentons to review. Not long after this live stream, the Harley Benton ST Modern Plus was announced, which does have a compound radius, but according to the prototypes, it's going to be 12 inch to 16 inch, which is a bit of a disappointment for me personally, but I'm still keen to try one out. It's got everything else almost perfect, including the rounded ball-shaped fret ends like what we see on the E-Art guitars. Stainless steel frets too. A Babix trem, lumen lays, locking tuners, HSS, the spoke wheel, truss rod adjustment at the heel. Almost perfect. I've got a good feeling about the future of Harley Benton, offering more variety of fretboard radii after this thing. So you might be asking, is this whole video just my selfish desires for Harley Benton to release a guitar with a 9.5 inch radius? Well, there probably is a bit of that. But like I said, I like the company, and it's probably the most popular, highest selling neck radius available on F-style guitars, so it just makes sense to me. I almost forgot about my good mates Dan and Mick at that pedal show. Let's see what they say.
Do you have a fretboard radius preference?
I don't actually, because all my guitars that I love are all so radically different.
I think because I grew up playing 7 1/4 Strats, and just so used to that, and that's all I've really ever played. If I play a Strat with a 9.5 board, it feels alien to me and weird, and I tend not to gel with it. So I like for a Strat, I like the curvy. Yeah, the only time it bothers me is if it's flat on a Strat, like a modern Super Strat type thing. I just
the compound radius
just feels all weird to me. Yeah, but I don't know. Play it for a few weeks, and I rather suspect you get used to it.
Yeah. 12. I used to not think I did, but I do. And how I found out I do have a favorite radius was from Kiesel Guitars.
I've enjoyed several Harley Benton guitars. There's 3 of them. I think I've had 6. So I've had the Harley Benton Fusion S2, Fusion T, an Aeolus, CST24, the HB SC25, and some kind of Stingray bass thing. And I like to participate in the live streams. They're a cool company, a cool brand, and the guys, Chris and Gilliam, they're like my best mates. Hey guys, tell them.
Steve is here. Hey Steve! I also am Scottish now, Barclay, actually.
I chat to them on Telegram all the time. But I'm becoming less and less interested in their current offerings in favour of another brand, Jet Guitars. Jet do the best affordable Strats, in my opinion. I've did a few videos on them, and the reason that I prefer the Jets over all others is that they have completely nailed the neck profile and they use the 9.5 inch fretboard radius. Jet guitars are a younger brand, and these guitars are making waves. So, to my mate Harley Benton, I'd suggest you offer some different options other than just 12 inch. Or Jet might just take all those customers. They've got me, and I've sold 4 of my 6 Harley Bentons that I've had. I'm only keeping the base, and I'm on the fence about selling my Fusion 2. On the flip side, I've had 4 Jets, and I've only sold 1 just because it was too heavy. Other than that, it was perfect. And I'll probably buy even more Jets if they continue to do the necks the way they're doing them. Okay, so what do you think of Harley Benton guitars? Which ones have you tried? Do you even care about fretboard radius? Do you even care? Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments. How cool would it be if my mate Harley Benton was to read the comments section of this video and started to implement some of your/our ideas? So you don't have to keep it to just fretboard radius. Maybe they'll see it. What else do you want? A green Harley Benton Rickenbacker. Tell them. Speaking of which, here's the results of the community poll. Here was the options. I stopped it after 100 votes to make it easier for me to maths. And thank you so much for voting, hugely appreciated. So we've got 41% in favour of the 9.5 inch radius, 27% for 12 inch, 18% just don't care, and 14% are other, which includes compound radius, less than 9.5 inch and flatter than 12 inch. And here's some of your comments from the poll from the people that voted. This is mainly the 9.5 inch people here, although I bet you're all taller than that. And then here is some of the don't know / don't care / it depends on the guitar. And here's some of the compound radius fans and people who like the 12 inch radius and flatter. So there you go, take from that what you will. Hello? Oh, hey Harley. How you doing, mate? Signature model? Wow. Well, I'm doing a video right now. Yeah, it's almost finished, but let me get back to you on that. Alright, see you later, mate. Cheerio. If you got this far, thanks for watching. Until next time, see you later.